All right, guys, welcome. So, for today's video, I want to go ahead and talk about something very important. Okay, and this video is for my coaches out there. It's for all the people who have decided that they want to be internet coaches. I'm going to go straight to the point. Listen, let's have a conversation, right? You got into the coaching space because either you believe either there's three types of people that get into coaching, right? And it's either one, you have the people who believe that they're actually doing good. Okay, they actually believe that they have a message to actually convey, and they believe that they're actually a force for good. You have those people. Okay, and then the second type of people that get into coaching are people who do it because they want to make some money. Okay, you have the people who get into coaching and saying, you know what, I want to make some money, so I'm going to go ahead and go be a coach. Okay, because I saw my friend make 40,000 a month teaching some coaching stuff, so I'm going to go ahead and start doing it. But I'm willing to bet that if you're doing this for money, there's three people in there. There's either the people making money and there's people losing money, right? So why am I making this video speaking to coaches? I'm speaking to coaches because I want you to understand something, that there are a few problems that you are currently facing right now as a coach. Okay, I'm not going to cover all of them just because everything is very dynamic based on your situation, but I'm going to talk about a few of them, right? And the first one that I want to go ahead and talk about is I want to go ahead and talk about the first problem, which is the problem of the client mismatch. Okay, client. All right, we're going to talk about the mismatch. So it is the client to basically coachee, customer, the coach to client mismatch, basically, for lack of a better word. You're the coach, right? You get this person. Let's say you're a dating coach, right? Majority of people are either going into the relationship space, marriage space, motivational coaching, all that good stuff. But here's the thing: is this? You're coaching, you get that one person, right? You believe you have potential. You see that, you know what, your marriage can be fixed, your relationship can be fixed, your life can be fixed, and you decide to, you know what, you see potential in them, but they don't see potential in themselves, right? They're not willing to do the work. Because the thing is this, you have to understand as a coach, is people see you as a savior, right? They believe that they don't have to do the work and you do all the work for them. They pay you, $100 or $200 an hour to show up, and then you're supposed to magically make miracles happen. Okay, that's how coaches are seen. All right, coaches are seen as saviors, and the reality is you're not a savior. You are by no means a savior. So when you have the coach to client mismatches, when you are the coach believing that, you know what, I see potential in this person if only they're willing to work on themselves, but they don't actually see potential in themselves. They're not willing to do the work, and now guess what you get? You get a dissatisfied customer because they come in and then they try your service and they say the service did not work. And you, my friend, as a coach now, are stuck with what situation are you stuck in? You're stuck in a situation where now you're like, you know what? Now you're getting bad reviews. Now you actually starting to believe that especially if you're a good coach, that you're not actually you start to doubt yourself, right? Because you have that coach to client mismatch. Now, how can you solve that? I'm going to go ahead and talk about that. Just keep listening. We're going to go ahead and talk about that in the end. Okay, in the bonus. In the bonus, there's going to be a bonus for you guys, which is we're going to talk about how to solve the coach to client mismatch. Okay. The second one is not setting the right frame of mind. You are not setting the right frame of mind and expectations for your client. So many times I see ads that saying, you know what, fix your marriage in 90 days, get a girlfriend in 2 weeks, become extra confident in 24 hours. Here's what you have to understand is when you've said that to me, you've advertised that to me, it's very important to understand that is the last thing, the last frame of mind that I have in my head is that, oh, you told me that if I came to you, I will get a girlfriend in 2 weeks. And now you're telling me I have to work. I have to put in the work. I have to work on my mind. I have to work on myself. I have to actually shower. I'm not saying I do shower, but you get my point, right? There is the not setting the right expectations, right? And you're doing it for advertising purposes. You're advertising saying, you know what, get results in this much. Because the reality is this, it works. If I tell you that you can get a girlfriend without having to leave your house and ever, this is speaking to men, you never having to leave your house and you can get a girlfriend and you can be married, never having to leave your house. That's a dream come true for most men because they don't have to put in the work. So when you advertise that, you're going to get a lot of people, but it is clickbait. And that's when you're starting on the wrong foundation, which is two, you're not setting the right expectation. And the third one is this, is you're being too nice. You have to understand, if you're a football coach, you have to understand the reality is it's all about the right frame of mind, having the right frame of mind or the right posturing. Now imagine this. I want you to imagine this, right? Imagine if you got a call saying, "Hey, um, you know, I'm not trying to take sides here because some people are like, man, you're saying this guy football. I'm very neutral in football, okay? Not trying to make enemies. But let's say you get a call saying, hey, Brady wants to talk to you, right? Most of you be like, there's gonna be a lot of stuff said, but I'm not gonna don't do it. But let's say you get a call and says, Brady wants to talk to you. You're gonna go, Brady wants to talk to me, bro. Absolutely. Some people will, you know when you're sitting there, you're talking to him. There's an element of posture that you see Brady in as opposed to yourself, right? Because you get into that conversation seeing as to, let's say Brady said, you know what, I'm going to coach you on football, right? You don't see Brady and he's like, I'm going to charge you $2,000-3,000 a minute to coach you. You don't go, oh wow, that's expensive. No, you're like, it's Brady. You'll be like, Ma, can I get you $2,000? Ma, can I get $3,000? How much? How much you need? He said he's gonna coach me. It's gonna be like 10 hours, so I need like 3 million. I don't know if that number's right, but you get my point, right? It's about the posture, right? You have to think about it as how does your customers and how does your clients see you? And most importantly, the way they see you is very proportional to how you see yourself. Because this is something I got from when I was selling life insurance. I realized this, right? And most people like, I sold life insurance. I ran a life insurance agency. I coach insurance agents on how to sell. I was a dating coach and I coach people on how to date. Which, by the way, I wouldn't go in that market because, being genuinely honest with you, most men really aren't willing to put in the work to actually see the results because they want instant gratification. They're like, hey, why don't I have 6 packs in 2 weeks? Or why doesn't this girl, my next door neighbor, love me? You understand? So that's the reason why I didn't do that. And I honestly love the software coaching side that I do. It's pretty cool for me. But it's all about posturing, right? Is if you see yourself and you come from a frame of mind that you are doing your customers a favor just by you being there and helping them because you are the expert. Because the truth is, expertise it's all about perception. It's all about perception. It is not it's something that is basically a construct. Is if you see yourself as an expert genuinely and you strongly believe that you are an expert, people will begin to see you as such. I know it's a crazy thing, but that's the truth. If you see yourself as an expert, people gonna see you as an expert as well. So it's all about posturing. It's all about how you posture yourself. How do you see yourself is very, 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 very important to determining how other people will see you as well. That's where posturing, okay? That's where posturing comes into play. Okay. How do you see yourself is very, very, very important. Okay. Now, the third thing I want to talk about is this is if you're gonna be a dating coach, let's use that as an example because that's what almost every guy says they are right now. It's like, hey man, I got laid last week, I got laid 2 weekends ago. So, I'm a dating coach now. And as a dating coach, just because I did it, I'm a dating coach. So just because you got a few results doesn't mean you have the mental capacity to deal with the burdens and the mental, what would I say, dysphoria. I don't want to use a fancy grammar. The struggles that other people are facing just because you've had an element of success is, I want you to think about it. Most people call themselves coaches, but they've barely done the work. It's like saying I'm going to be a Shopify coach when I've only, spent maybe $500 on ads and maybe sold $1,000 in products. I'm like, oh my God, I'm a Shopify coach now. I made $500, man. I'm going to build a course and I'm going to teach you about Shopify. You have to understand you actually have to put in the work, okay? Because you have to understand that as a coach, you are a leader. You are a leader, which means people are going to follow you. You cannot lead them to where you have not been, okay? You cannot take them to the promised land when you have not even seen it, okay? Because what you're going to end up doing is just going to end up confusing yourself and confusing everybody. Is the thing is you haven't done the work yourself. And just be frankly honest, is the reason why most coaches really are nice and they lie about what they do is because, being genuinely honest with you, is because nobody knows them initially, okay? And they're trying to get the name out there. They're trying to make a name for themselves. So that, you know what they say? You know what? Hey, I'm gonna make up this stuff and say I'm a coach. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do this. But inevitably, what you end up doing is you end up digging a hole for yourself. Because what ends up happening is this: you lose your credibility. The most important thing that you ever have is your name. That's the most valuable asset right now. Well, other than time, is your name. And once your reputation is ruined, it's very hard for people to trust you again. Okay, so we're going to counteract. How do you deal with the first thing, which is a client mismatch? How do you deal with a mismatch? Very important. Pick your clients properly. Actually vet them. Somebody comes to you, they're like this and this and this. Actually interview them. All right, listen, hold on, listen. This is how I get it. Let's say I was, this is how I did for the dating coach. Like, most of how I got my clients were either you do Quora ads. I got some of them from YouTube. So it was simple. We do a call, like, hey, listen. So tell me about what's got us on the call today. And I did this for life insurance too. What's got me and you talking today? And they'll go, I'm here because, honestly, I broke up with my girlfriend. She broke up with me. I really want her back. And yeah, I just can't, I can't imagine my life without her. Right. Instantly, I'm like, all right. And then I ask this very simple question. I'm like, so let me ask you this. If as a result of my coaching, okay, in the next, it takes you maybe 3 months, 6 months to a year to get the first girl interested in you, and it's not your girlfriend. Is that something that's acceptable to you? Man, I don't think I can do a year. I don't. That's fine. You know what? Then this is not for you, my friend. Okay, we don't do instant gratification, because here's what happens: is I have to actually remold you and remold your mind to be able to get you to be somebody who's attractive to the opposite sex, right? So you have to understand there's a mismatch. Ask them questions, disqualifying questions. The goal is to actually, it's not even just getting them, it's actually disqualifying my service to them. Just for the simple fact as to, I don't want to be in a situation where 2 months, 3 months down the line, you're like, oh, I don't see results. Or, oh my God, this is a sham. I didn't see any results. Because the reality is this: is when it comes to coaching, unless you're doing something sort of like financial coaching, the direct value you're providing in people's lives is pretty much a behavioral change. Okay? Because you need to change and reconstruct your mind. That's how they start to see change. It's not like they're seeing financial, because you're selling an intangible, which means they need to see a very different, they have to behave almost differently. Right? So to deal with a mismatch is just very important. Okay, pick your clients properly. And if you're like, hey man, I really don't know how to pick them. I'm barely having people talking to me. You're in a scarcity mindset. Listen, I'm going to tell you, success is 20% what you were in business for, and 80% on the back end that nobody else sees. Okay, when I started out as on the software, I had no software. I had no software background, no nothing. I initially, basically, most of you would know, started out in the airline industry, right? And from there I was able to build myself up. But the main factor for me was this: is I had to teach myself some coding skills. I had to learn how to run Google Ads, AdWords, well, Google Ads now, Bing Ads, now called Microsoft Ads, LinkedIn Ads, Facebook Ads. Okay, I had to learn about what I'm building another software right now that's going to complement to RIZN Results. Which, by the way, shameless plug here: if you're not using RIZN Results is a marketing CRM for coaches, independent agents, insurance agents, life insurance agents, chiropractors. It is basically, it turns your food truck into a B Dubs. Okay, that's basically my elevator pitch. Is we can Rise and Results transforms a food truck into a B Dubs. Okay, and how does it do that? It's pretty simple. We basically pimp up your truck, make your truck the most desirable truck by using automation to be able to increase the touch that you have with your customers. Okay. If you're interested in that, just go ahead and look in the description below. There's a link. Just go ahead and you can do a demo. If you're ready, you can sign up for the free trial. It's a 14-day free trial. It's absolutely no pressure to you. You could use it. If you don't like it, you can go ahead and cancel. If you do, that's perfectly fine. It comes with an onboarding call. You're either gonna meet with myself, more than likely not, but you probably meet with one of the members of the teams that's going to actually help you get set up. But that's it. That's the only plug for now. So it's a mismatch, okay? So just plug in, go on Horizon. We have courses, and we'll teach you how to actually get more clients as a coach, okay? And if it comes into setting up one-on-one and actually understanding your business, we'll do just that to build funnels for you to be able to get more people into your business, right? So another thing is just setting the frame. Just understand something. Do not be afraid of rejection. People will tell you no. That's fine. Let them tell you no. That's all right. They can reject you. That's fine. You're a coach, right? You're supposed to be able to deal with pain, right? So get used to it. Okay. Now, you have to be clear and not hype your service up. Very important. Do not hype your service up. And being too nice is basically you being too nice is based off of how you perceive yourself. Because the truth is this: there's nothing about being there's nothing bad about being kind. There's nothing bad about being courteous. But when you're being nice, just like, oh my god, hi, kissing, basically kissing behind because of $100 or $200, it shows the value that you have for yourself. That's your God's honest truth. Because if I had a coach training me, boxing coach, I had somebody training me, sparring with me, and he's being nice with me because he's taking my money, I don't want to work with him. I don't. As a flight instructor, when I was a flight instructor, I was nice to my students, but by no means they understood that I was fair. Any of my students would tell you they're like, Emmanuel doesn't play. They were paying $200-$300 an hour just to be in a plane with me. Emmanuel doesn't play. I'm like, you either get it or not. I would have sense. I'm like, hey, okay, what is this? What is that? What is this? What is that? They'll be like, I don't know. All right, you know what? We're turning back around. All right, flight's over. And they're like, we haven't even left yet. I'm like, yeah, because I'm saving you right now because I know that you are not prepared for today's lesson. And rather than you going up there and burning $600 just to fly with me, it is better for you to go home right now and go study. I would rather not get paid than have you burn and waste your money. I was never worried about where the money was going to come from because I had that abundance mindset. You're going to have that abundance mindset if you don't want to be suffering from a case of nice syndrome. All right. Hopefully, this video added value to you. Once again, like I said, do me a favor, check out RIZN Results. Click the link below. Go to RIZNResults.com. Leave us a review if you want to. Go on Google. Just Google RIZN Results. And that's pretty much what I got for you guys for today. And like I said, if you're a coach, you have to restructure and rethink the way you do business if you actually want to start giving more results for your clients, more results for your customers. And at the end of the day, let me tell you this: success is a journey, not a destination. And for that, I say enjoy.